Okay, in PHP, in order to create arrays, array function is used, and there are three types of arrays in PHP: indexed array, associative array, and multi-dimensional array. Now there is something different in associative arrays, like the arrays you already have familiar with during C++ programming. Indexed array are same like you work with C++ array, that arrays have a numeric index. What is an index mean? Like if this is an array, I called it array A, and size of array is 5. So this is index starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is called index, and here we can have a value. If it is like integer type array, we can have different type of values over here. Okay, so this is index and this is the value. So in indexed array, arrays have numeric index, like you already familiar with in C++. But when we are talking about associative arrays, for associative array, these are arrays with named keys, something like you have not experienced before. And multi-dimensional arrays, you know that arrays containing one or more arrays. Okay, let's start with each array one by one. So starting with indexed array, so there are two ways to create index array. So index can be assigned automatically and always start it with 0. You know that index always start with 0. So this is one way to create index array. This array is the name of the function, okay, and cars is the name of the array, okay, and $sign mean this is a variable. So variable cars is a array type of variable. We call array function, and to array function we passed 3 values. So 1, 2, 3. So as a result of it, an array cars will be created, which has 3 values into it. The name of the array is cars, index starting from 0, 1, 2. 0 will be initialized with Volvo. I am not going to write full one. 1 will be initialized with BMW, and 2 will be initialized with Toyota. Okay, or you can assign index manually like this. Car 0 is Volvo, car 1 is BMW, and car 2 is Toyota. Okay, there is a special function, count function, that is used to return the length of array. Like if we will call this count function on array cars, it will tell us that the length of this array is what? 3. It has 3 number of elements into it. So in order to get the length of the an array, we use count function, like we already see it in the last slide. Like here in this code, we initialize array cars with the 3 values, and when we call echo count cars, so it will return us 3, the length of the array car. Okay, in order to go through all the elements of an array, like you remember in your C++ programming we use for loop if we want to print all the elements of the array. So here in PHP also we can use for loop, although I will discuss for loops in more detail in the coming slide, but here we have just one small example over here. So we have 2 variable, one is cars, which is an array of length 3, and then we have another variable ARR length, and ARR length will be assigned with the number of elements in array car. So ARR length value will be, this will return 3. And then we have for loop. Syntax is almost same like C++. Here we perform initialization. We take a variable x and initialize it with the 0, then condition x is less than or less than ARR length, and then this is increment x plus plus, and echo car x and here BR is new line, echo BR mean new line. So what happened is first time x is 0 and it will check x is less than 3, true, car 0, because x is 0. You know na, in C++ and other, when for loop is executed, first initialization has to be done one time, then condition, then statement, and then increment. So first initialization, then it check for the condition. If condition is true, statement executed. So these two statement will be executed, car 0. So this Volvo will print on the screen. BR, it will take you to the next line, and then x plus plus will make x is equals to 1. Then it will check 1 is less than 3, yes 2, car 1, then BMW. Then x plus plus, x will become 2, and then it will check 2 is less than 3, true, car 2, this Toyota will display on screen, and then x plus plus, x become 3, 3 is less than 3, false, and loop finish. Okay, PHP associative arrays is a somewhat new concept in PHP arrays. It use named keys that you assign to them, like indexed can be a name as well. Like previously we have seen that index can be only integer, but in PHP associative arrays index can be a name as well. So how to create associative array? We can create associative array using the same array function, and we can provide to this array function any number of comma separated key value pair as argument. Like in order to create an array, we call this array function, and in this array function as an input parameter we can provide any number of key value pair. We have to provide key can be integer or a string, and value can be of any type, and this is the symbol that we need to use, arrow kind of symbol, equals to sign and this greater than sign or angle bracket. So like here, this is an example how to create an associative array. PHP array, okay, name of the array is array, we call array function, key is foo and value is bar, key is bar and value is foo. So as a result of this, what happened is, here we will create with an array that is this array, okay. The index and value, please look into it carefully. First index will be foo, key is the index, okay. So index is foo and value is bar, okay, as a result of this statement. Second statement, key is bar and value is foo, and value here is foo. So it will be like this, okay. In PHP 5 you can also declare this array with this square bracket, this bracket, okay. Instead of calling array function, you just equals to this bracket and key value pairs comma separated. So this is the syntax that can be used in PHP 5.4. So key can be only integer or string, but value can be of any type, okay. Here we have another example, okay. In this example, the array name is age, okay, and it has key value pair. Now this array will be created like this. This age array consists of 3 indexes, okay. This is the array age, okay. First key is Peter, so key is the index, so here we will have Peter. I am not going to write full, okay, and the value is 35. Second key is Ben, so second index will be Ben and value is 37, and third index is Joy and value is 43, okay. So index are now we can say that named keys, okay. These are named keys, Peter, Ben, Joy. These are your index and these are your values, 35, 31 and 43, okay. Now if we execute this instruction inside our PHP script, echo Peter is, okay, concatenation symbol, $age Peter. So it will go to this array at the index Peter and come up with the value. What is the value at this index? 35. So as a result of this, 35 will be displayed on screen. Peter is 35 years old. So this will be the output of the given statement. Like we have seen that for indexed array, how to loop through indexed array using for loop. But in order to loop through an associative array, for loop will not work. We use special type of loop in PHP which is called for each loop. Okay, I will come back to this slide again once we will cover this special loop for each loop. Okay, for each loop is used to loop through the associative array. So I'll come back here to explain this example for you. Okay, here we have another example. We have an array ARR, and then to ARR, first key is foo, value is bar, second key is 12 and value is true. Now it is possible that you can have one key as string and other key as integer. These both are keys. First key is string, other one is integer, and these are the values. First key value is bar and second key value is true. So when we are going to write echo ARR foo, so the value of foo is bar, so bar will display on screen. And if we are going to write echo ARR 12, the value of 12 is true, and true is what? 1. You know, false is 0 and true is 1. Okay, here another example. Now here we declare again associative array, but to this array the first key is 5 and value is 43 and comma. Now next we did not provide key value pair, we only provide value 32. Key is not there. So what will be the key for it? The key for it will be automatically the previous key plus 1. Previous key was 5, so it will automatically, the key for this will be 6. Okay, like this. It is equivalent to these, this 32 and this 6, 32, these both are equivalent. Okay, 56, again key is not there. If key is missing, 1 plus the previous indice. Previous indice was 6, so 1 plus 6, 7. So key for this will become 7. So it will be equivalent to this, and then last one is simple, B is assigned 12. Okay, this example is again having for each loop, so we will do it later on once we finish for each loop. Okay, for PHP control structure we have conditional structure and repetition structure. Condition structure where we use if, we can use if else, and repetition structure like for loop, for each loop, or while loop. So here we have an example of in PHP how if else conditional branching can be done. It is same like C++. We use keyword or reserve word if, okay, brackets, here we provide condition and then statement, and else, then inside else we have another if. We can also do nesting like we do nesting in C++. If else, inside else we have another if. We can combine the condition inside if with these logical operator. This is, you know, and, logical and so on. Here is the more generic structure of if else. We use if as a keyword and condition and then statement. Else, okay, else is small else I think, and statement. Okay, there was a small mistake over here. Else is, E is small, okay, if else, and this is generic structure, if else. And equals to is same like C++, 2 times equal sign. If one time equal sign is used, it is assignment operator, it is not equals to. So if else. Okay, here we have another example of if else. Now so in this example what we are doing is that a variable d is assigned a date. Date is what? A function which return you the current date, and here what we want to assign to d? A day only from the date function. So d will be assigned with the day of current date. Let's suppose current date is September 27 and day is Sunday. So d will be assigned with the value sun, Sunday. Okay. Echo d, when we call echo d, it will display on screen what? The value of d, because today is Sunday, so sun will display on screen. And then if d is Friday, no, d is not Friday, d is Sunday, so this if will not execute, instead else will execute, and you will get this message on screen: have a nice day, son, have a nice day. And then we have another variable x assigned 10. If x is equals to 10, yes, it is true, hello, this will display on screen, good morning. Okay, while loop. In while loop, you know the syntax is same like C++. While is the keyword. Again here w should be small, not capital. Okay, while condition, if condition is true, then statement will be executed. Like here we have an example: count is assigned 0 while count is less than 3. Yes, count is less than 3. Print hello PHP. So this code, and count plus equals to 1, that is we are incrementing counting every time, count variable every time with 1. You can also increment like this: count plus plus, or count is equals to count plus 1. So this will be the output of the code. This code will display hello PHP 3 times by using while loop. So while loop has same structure as while loop in C++. Okay, then we have for and for each loop. For loop, as I already told you in the previous slide, we have for as a reserved word, and then initialization, condition, increment, and statement. So for this particular example, what happened is it will display hello world how many number of times? 5 number of times on the screen. Then comes for each loop. PHP for each loop works only on array, and we use this loop to loop through each key value pair in an associative array. You can use for each loop with normal indexed array as well. The syntax is we use keyword for each, and then the name of the array is given over here, then as is the keyword, and then this value, and then code to be executed. So during each iteration, the value of the current array element is assigned to this variable value, and the array pointer is moved by 1 until it reaches to the last array element. Like here in an example, I have a normal array, this indexed array. The name of array is colors, and index 0 is assigned the value red, 1 is assigned green, 2 is assigned blue, and 3 is assigned yellow. Okay, and now what we have for each loop, name of the array is colors. We want to execute this for each loop on array colors, as is a keyword, and then value. When we say value, it automatically sync itself to the index 0. Okay, so when we write echo and this variable value, and br is just to print a new line. So what happened is it will first point itself to index 0, the value on index 0 red, so red will display on screen, and then it will, we don't need to provide any increment or condition anything. It will go from first index until the last index. So it will automatically move after printing 0. During next iteration, it will point to the index 1, and then the value on 1 is key is 1 and value is green, so green will display and then blue and then yellow until it reaches the last array element. So it works like this. Here we have a few more examples for each loop. Okay, in the first example we have array. The name of array is a underscore array and the values are 1 2 3 4 and key there will be, or index will be 0 1 2 and 3. So when we call for each loop, we provide here the name of the array as a keyword and value. And now what we are going to do is it automatically point itself to the index 0 when we call value multiplied by 2. So this index 0 value is 1 multiplied by 2, it will change 1 to 2, and then when we write echo value, so 2 will display on screen. During next iteration it is pointing to the index 1 where the value is 2, and it will change to value multiplied by 2 to 4, and when we echo this value 4 will display on the screen, then 6, then 8. Okay, then this example, in this example we have array, name of array is a underscore array and it has 3 values in it. On index 0 we have a, on index 1 we have b, and index 3 we have c. So key is 0 1 2 and value is a b c. So for each, okay, we want to display both key and value at the same time, then here we have to write something like this. If we want to display or want to work with both key and value, after as key value, and then when we display key, so key will display, for key for the first element is 0, so 0 will display, and then value, the value will be displayed, the value will be a over here. Okay, by the way, there is something wrong. This array is same as this array. Okay, then it will display like this 0 1 2 3 4 and 1 2 3 4. Okay, a underscore arr, if it is same like array 1 2 3 4, so it will display like this. So here we need to make this correction. This is same as this. Okay, then the output will be same like this. Okay, we have then do while loop. We study already while loop, for loop for each loop, and the last loop is do while loop. In the do while loop, there is a special thing about do while loop is that it minimum execute at least one time, even if condition is false. Like while loop will not execute if condition is false, but do while loop minimum must execute at least one time, because it will first execute the loop and then check the condition. The control is such that first do this or execute the statement and then check the condition. So even if condition is false, do while loop execute minimum one time. Okay, like here we have an example. We declare a variable x is equals to 1 and then we use do loop. Okay, another thing, after while we provide condition, and after condition there is need to put this semicolon. This is the syntax. Do is the reserved word, then condition, all the statements you write inside curly brackets. By the end we have while as a keyword. Inside bracket we provide condition and it should end with this semicolon. Semicolon is important after while, otherwise it will be a syntax error. Okay, so here in example variable x is initialized with 1, do. Okay, so at least one time it will be executed. After do it will come immediately to this statement, echo the number is variable x, the value of x is 1, so this first line will display on screen, x plus plus x will become 2. Okay, then it will check condition. Okay, first execute the statement, then come and check to the condition. X is less than or equals to 5, 2 is less than or equals to 5, true. Okay, true, so it will loop back again here. echo the number is x, so now x has become 2, so the number is 2, x plus plus x will become 3, 3 is less than or equals to 5, true. So it will come back again, the number is 3, third line, x plus plus x will change to 4, condition 4 is less than or equals to 5, true. Again it come back, the number is x, x is now 4, x plus plus will make it 5, 5 is less than or equals to 5, true. Okay, it will again go back and loop, the number is x, x is now 5, 5 will display on the screen, x plus plus will change x to 6. Okay, 6 is less than or equals to 5, no, false. So then this statement will not execute and we will finish over here. So how many number of times this loop executed? 5 times. As a conditional statement, we have already seen if-else statement, but in PHP you can also have a switch statement as a conditional statement, like we use switch in C++. The same way switch can be used in PHP. We use reserve word switch, and then we provide here the variable on which we are going to perform the switch. Like here we want to perform this switch on variable x, and then we have different cases, case 1, case 2, case 3, and then default case. Default case will be executed only in the case if none of the above case is true, then default will be executed. Okay, case 1, case 2, case 3, these are all reserve word and you have to write it in the same way, and default also. And switch start with this curly bracket and end with this curly bracket. And after that, inside each case, whatever statements that you want to execute, you write your statement and end it with break. If you do not write break after each case, what happened is, like case 2 is true, okay, like x, okay, now here what we are doing is we assign x a random number between 1 to 5. So let's suppose x is assigned 2, okay, and then switch x, so switch is performed on x, so value of x is 2, so it will check case 1, no, case 1 is not executed because x is not equals to 1. So case 1 mean it checks if x is equals to 1, so variable x, I need to write it like this, if x is equals to 1, so this case 1 is equivalent to this statement of if statement. So it checked if x is equals to 1, no, x is not equals to 1, so this is false, it will, case 1 will not execute. It comes to case 2 and check case 2 is equivalent to if x is equals to 2, yes, case 2 is true. So when case 2 is true, the value that will display on screen, echo number 2, this message will be displayed on screen. And then we have this break statement. What is the purpose of this break statement? It is very important that by the end of each case you add break statement, because if you will not add break statement, if case 2 is true, it automatically execute all the rest of the cases, case 3, case 4, until the last case, or where you will find, you know, your last break. So by the end of each break, we each case we add break statement, just to make sure that only the if this case is true, only these statements will be executed and rest of the statements would not execute. So each case end with break. And if none of the case is true, like if x is, let's suppose 5, so x is not equals to 1, x is not equals to 2, x is not equals to 3, so then default will be executed. Okay, default is executed if none of the case is true, and default should also be always be the last case. And this is about switch statement. Okay, in PHP we can also use functions. Functions need to be defined before they can be called. So how to define a function? Function header format is, we use keyword function, name of the function, and inside the brackets or parenthesis we provide the number of input arguments or parameter. variable names are case sensitive, but function names are not case sensitive. Okay, another thing, you know, you come to know, we saw previously that variable names are case sensitive in PHP, but like if we have three different variables like this, f is not equals to this f, these will be considered two different variable. But in case of functions, these all three different functions will be considered as the same, okay, equivalent. So function names are not case sensitive, variable names are case sensitive in PHP. Okay, here we have an example. This is the function name is foo. Okay, function start with this keyword function, name of the function, and input argument. It has two input argument, and here we say that argument 2 is equals to argument 1 multiplied by 2 and return argument 2. Okay, now here we are calling function. Okay, here in this statement we are calling function. Variable result is equals to foo 12 and 3. So argument 1 will be assigned value 12, argument 2 will be assigned value 3 when this function call happened. Okay, and then argument 2 is argument 1 multiplied by 2, 12 multiplied by 3 is what, 48. So argument 2 value will be 48, and 48 will be returned over here. So no, sorry, not 48, 36. Oh my god, 12 3s are 36, and then 36 will be returned over here to result. So result will be assigned the value 36. When we echo result, it will display our output 36. Or we can also call function directly like this, like you know in cout you can call function. So here we can also call function with echo foo 12 3. So both are same. In this slide we have some more user defined function examples. Like here, this is just a generic definition of a function. Here we have some examples. Let's go through each example one by one. Okay, this is function square. Name of the function is square. Take as input variable one variable name num and return num multiplied by num, and here we are calling this function square 4. So what will be output of this function? This 4 will be, num will be initialized with 4 and num multiplied by num return. So what it will return? It will return 16. So 16 will display on screen. Okay, here in this another example, we have a function. Name of function is small number, and here we use return statement, and here what we are returning, we are calling array function. You know, array function is used to initialize or declare a array. So what happened is, this is really interesting. Here we are calling it in this statement, we are calling this function. Now how we are calling this function? We use list as a array, and it has 3 indexes, 0 1 2, you know, associative array, is equals to small number. So what happened is, it will return this array 0 1 2 3. So index 0 will be initialized with value 0, index 1 will be initialized with value 1, and index 2 will be initialized with value 2. And when we said echo 0 1 2, so this will display on screen 0 1 2. This will be the output of this script. And the last one, okay, here we call this function takes array, and to this function we pass this array as input, array 1 2. So here input will be an array, and it will have two values, 0 is 1 and 1 is 2. So echo input 0. So input 0 is 1, so this will display 1 on the screen. Input 1, 1 is 2, so it will display 2 on the screen, equals to a symbol, and then input 0 plus input 1, so 1 plus 2 3. So the output of this script will be this 1 plus 2 equals 3. The variable scope, the scope of the variable is same like in C++. It will be only visible in the same place where you declare it or use that variable. So like here we have a variable a assign 1, and here function, and inside function if we write here echo a, Now the scope is local within function, and hence the value of a is undefined in the echo statement, and you will get what? Error over here, because a is not defined inside function echo. So echo will not be this function test. So here this statement will you know uh, issue a error statement. So in this example, this variable a is having a global scope. So if a variable is declaring outside a function and has a global scope, then it can only be accessed outside a function, not inside function. Okay, in this example, a is assigned 1, b is assigned 2. A and b are variables which are global variable. They have global scope, and if we want to access them inside the function, then we can access it, but by using a special way, like here global a b, and then we can access them. So now b is assigned a plus b, so b will be equals to 3, and then when we call after calling some function, when we echo b, it will return 3 instead of 2, because it has been updated here in this function sum. But in order to update it, we have to write this global statement. Global is a keyword which refer to the global version of the variables. Okay, so variables have 3 scopes: local scope, global scope, and then static. So static variables are having a same behavior like static in C++. Here we declare variable a as a static in this function test1, and static variable will remain in the memory throughout the execution of program, and they will only be initialized once, not more than one. Like here when we call test1 function, so first time when test1 function is being called, a will be initialized to 0. A will be initialized to 0 during first calling of test1, and then echo a, and the value of a is displayed on screen. So this a is equals to 0 will display on screen. Then we make a plus plus, a will change to 1. Okay, and then function finish its execution. We come back and return here to this statement. When second time test1 is going to be executed and we go to this statement static, we already have a in the memory, so it will not be declared or initialized again. So this statement will be ignored second time. Echo a is equals to 1, this will display on screen, and a plus plus, a will change to 2. And when we call test1 3 times, again when we come to the function body, this statement will be ignored because a already exists in the memory. Echo a is equals to a, so this a is equals to 2 will display on screen, and a plus plus will change a to 3. So this will be the output of this program. Then there is another function, date function, that can be used to find the current date or display the date, and we can use this date function with different input parameter to get the date in different format. Like here we have a variable date display, and we initialize this variable or we assign this variable. Here we call date function, and as an input parameter we provide this format, that is year, then month, and then day. So let's suppose if it is 25th June 2012, and if we want to display or print this date display function, it will display date like this, in this format, the format in which we initialize it. Okay, there are other formats as well, like here if we initialize date display with this format and we print date display, then it will first display the day, then month, and then the date, and then year. So there are so many other formats as well, like here if we provide input argument capital M, then your month will be initialized in the short format like this. If you provide f as an input, like here we provide f, so here it gives us the full form of the month. Small m will display date in this form, and if we are using n, then it will display in this form. And then we have some other, like day of month, you can provide this day or this, so it will provide in different format. And then week also, like this, and it will display in the different format. So here we have different month, day and date format symbols that can be provided as input parameter to date function. So here this is an example to get date in different formats, like if we initialize date this way, it will have this format, and so on. You can go through it by yourself. Okay, in order to include files into PHP script, we can use include statement. Let's suppose we have two files over here. This is vars.php file. Okay, this is one file. Okay, we store it as vars.php. Then we have another file, PHP file, test.php. Now in this file, when we write this echo a, okay, variable color, variable fruit, variable color and variable fruit, this test.php before this statement doesn't know anything about it. So what will be output? Only this will be output, a will be output, and color and fruit, there is nothing over there, so it will not display anything. Okay, now after echo we include vars.php file inside test.php, and then again we call or we execute the same statement, a color fruit. Now vars.php has color and fruit, and we include it in test.php. So test.php now know what is variable color and what is variable fruit, so this will be output. The value of color was green and fruit was apple, so a green apple. Okay, in this example you can see that here we declare a function foo, and inside this function we declare this, that global color. So we are using color variable as a global, that we want to access it throughout the program. And then we include this file vars.php, which have this color variable and fruit variable. So we make only global color variable, not the fruit variable, and then we write echo a color fruit. Now this include statement is within the scope of this function, so this color and fruit both will be accessible inside foo function. So you will get output a color is green and fruit is apple, a green apple. But when we call the same thing here inside the global, global knows color but it doesn't know fruit, so you will get output only a green but nothing from fruit. Here is just a sample, your first PHP script, that you can write it like this. It's simple hello world program, we already discussed it before, but when we are going to save it, we can save it as PHP file. We give it an extension .php. Here we have some of the references which are used to create this lecture, and along with that please include W3 School as well as one of the reference. And I would also suggest you to go to W3 School website. Just go to Google and write W3 School PHP tutorial, and all PHP tutorials are available over there, and all these concepts are discussed over there, which you can practice also over there. Okay, thank you. I will create another tutorial for you regarding PHP in the next class.